Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Guys, I asked what we're going to talk about, and what I heard is change is coming quickly. Okay, change is coming quickly. Okay, so there. I'm sorry. Let me get serious. Let me get serious. Change is on the way. Change really, a lot of people are scared of change, but the reality is this: change is the only constant. Change is the only thing you can count on at all times. No matter what's happening, whether it's good or it's bad, it will eventually change. It will eventually change. So, for those of you who are struggling, all right, you're struggling through something right now, don't worry. Change is coming. It's going to change. Not going to be stuck there forever. The more you can get on board with what your soul is trying to do for you, the faster that change is going to occur. The more you fight the change, the slower it's going to take for that change to happen for you. If you're going through really good times, really just savor it. Savor the goodness that you're experiencing right now, because baby boo boo, baby boo boo, baby boo, it's going to change as well. Okay. This doesn't mean it's going to be bad, but it's not going to last forever. So, just kind of like let things ride. Let things ride. I ride with I slide with the folks who know I'm from the LBC. I love that song. Wanna kick it with me, 'cause I run with Warren G. Okay. Ooh, all right. Let me freaking shuffle this properly. All right. So I feel a lot of shifting. I feel a lot of change. I feel a lot of potentiality loading already. Like already. Change has been occurring. You just haven't noticed it. And by the time you notice it, tremendous amounts of change have already occurred. We don't notice when we're shifting 1 degree at a time. We only notice after the fact, right? We notice after the fact, and then it becomes something where it's like, whoa, when did that happen? How did that happen? We're about to see some change, okay? I ride with I slide with I love that song. Okay. Let's see where this conversation is going. I feel a lot of like energy. Suddenly my hands are super cold. Just breathe. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Okay. For many of us, okay, I like that. I like that. For many of us, what's happening here is your soul is calling you out. It's calling you out on your own BS. I'm sorry, I can't have a lack of symmetry. So I pulled out another card. Okay, so this is not a bad thing, but this is definitely a call you out on your own F stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gotta quit playing with yourself. There's this lack of desire to heal. Okay, that's a little bit harsh. I feel like you want to heal, but you're not allowing yourself to heal. Does that make sense? Like, you're doing all the things that are necessary, but you're not fully implementing what needs to be implemented. And that's not a good thing. That's a waste your time type thing. So now your soul is letting you know that basically it's definitely acknowledging the type of progression you've made, the type of effort you've put into this, but it's also acknowledging that you're still fighting your own process. You're not allowing yourself to come back home to you. That probably means, most likely, it means that you have absolutely still been ashamed of your journey, of who you are, the things that you've gone through to make you the person that you need to be to accomplish the things that need to be accomplished. Um, okay. There's this excitement in the air. I feel it in my chest. It is just we just need to breathe. That's what it is. We need to breathe. We need to allow ourselves to come to some degree of like acceptance. Is this even my feelings? Is this my experience? Is this someone else's? Am I pulling in someone else's experience? That's what I need to know. There's like just so much excitement. I'm viewing it as excitement. I'm wondering if whoever is experiencing this is viewing it as anxiety. What's the difference between anxiety and excitement? Your perception of it. That's the only difference. If you're viewing it from a negative point of view, you're going to view this same energy as anxiety, something bad, right? Fear. If you're viewing it from a positive perspective, you're probably going to view it as excitement. Like, I feel super excited. I don't know why. like, like it's so much energy and so much excitement that it's kind of hard to breathe. I can't discern if this is mine. Hold on. Okay. So you're so eager to get out of your box. We're going to talk to baby cakes. Baby cakes. Baby cakes. Please show me no. Baby cakes, please show me yes. All right, let me just breathe. Baby cakes, what is oh shit. Hey, baby cakes. Are these my own emotions? No. Baby cakes, am I feeling someone else? Yes. Who the hell is it? Why are you suddenly like shaking, shivering? I'm getting jitters. I'm getting jitters. What the hell? No, seriously, what the hell is this? Who am I feeling? What the hell is this? It's so much excitement, like jittery. It's like, are you like? I'm very sensitive to caffeine. Is it caffeine? Is that what it is? Um, this is Bish. This is Bish. Bish has a little black heart. What? Bish. Why is your heart moved? Your heart was much lower and it was an obvious heart. What the hell? And this is baby cakes. We got two of them. Let's ask Bish. Bish. Bish, show me yes. Bish, show me no. Bish, is what I'm feeling my own? No. Am I feeling someone else's experience? Yes. Do I know who it is? Yes. We're not playing this game today, Michael. We not playing this game today, Michael. Anyways, someone has drank far too much caffeine. I'm gonna need you to calm the fuck down. Whoever you are, my heart will burst. All I gotta say is if I'm awake all night long because of your fucking caffeine, we gonna have problems. Your girl needs a certain amount of sleep, okay? You don't want problems with me? You need to just like back the fuck up. I'm just saying. I don't do good with caffeine. What is this? Like caffeine and creatine? What the fuck? Because it like I don't know if you guys can see this. It's giving me jitters. Too much pre-workout. Whoever you are, you better go run on the treadmill as fast as you fucking can with the incline all the way up. You better burn off all this caffeine because I don't want none of this. I don't want none of this. None of it. Anyways, banishment. You've pushed something away. I don't know if it's someone or something you've pushed. What is this? What is this? I don't know. I kind of get the sense of like a guy's chest is like shit. Just go. It's just woo woo. I just fucking y'all. For real, I can't function like this. For real, hold died. It's too much. Like I'm shaking. It's far too much, too much. So I'm getting the impression that there is some type of masculine energy. And I don't know if it's your masculine energy, like the masculine aspect of you, um, or if it's a masculine outside of you, like someone else. It doesn't necessarily have to be a male, but it's like a masculine energy that's being presented and it's been pushed away. So for some of you, it could be a sense of like you have like maybe you're constantly in a state of survival. You constantly have to fight and defend yourself. Like the environment you're in, people are consistently um consistently attacking you, consistently, and you're just sick and tired of being in a constant state of fight, fight. And so now it's this thing of pushing it away, like just pushing it away. Thanks, baby. There. Let's just set it down right here. Oh, there. Okay. I gotta burn some of this off. Like I have the jitters really, really bad. Y'all just need to like if you go work out, you gonna do all that shit. You know, don't think of me. Don't think of me. It's got me fucked up at this point. Okay. So you've pushed away, right? And I'm trying not to be weird. I'm really trying not to be weird right now. Whatever you've pushed away, it's leaving a void within your space. And whatever this void is, it's definitely something that your soul just really it needs to be filled at this point, right? it needs to be filled. You need to allow something or maybe someone um, back home. I can't. I have to. I have to. All right, all right, all right, all right. It's burned enough. There's a void that's existing inside of you. Whatever this void is, it's a massive liability. It is a massive space that is left empty. And if you don't know anything about um, parasitic circumstance, when you reject portions of yourself, you push it away, and now you have left like this hole where a portion of you and your character used to exist. You've pushed that away. What ends up happening is something parasitic crosses your path. It's going to jump into that hole. That's how you get breached. Is going to jump into that hole. The jitters went away, but my heart's like, who the fuck is this? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So I'm wondering if your soul is letting you know that you might be at risk. You might have a little bit of an elevated risk of breach, parasitic breach of your field. And maybe this breach of your field. So one of two things can happen if your field gets breached. Um, First, your higher self is allowing the breach. And this is to trigger a process within yourself. It would be like a trauma induced accretion where you are pulling in tremendous amounts of frequency, and that's going to push you through whatever snag you're caught on with your ascension mechanics. Or, or you might be being emptied out because you're about to be replenished with some potent AF energy. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm not sure exactly what it is and what you're dealing with. I think a lot of it has to do with the way you're going to react to the process that you're in. If you're going to react in a positive manner, um, and positive manner does not mean like, oh, great, it's awesome. That's some fake ass shit. This is not great. This is not awesome. A positive manner would be like, all right, if I'm going to get breached, I mean, I'm not going to just willy nilly allow it, but if I do need to be breached, I need to start trying to figure out why. What am I supposed to learn from this? Is it about me learning the importance of the company I keep? Is it about me learning about my boundaries, where they're at, and whether they are positive or negative for me? Is it about your loyalties? Are you being loyal to a person who the only reason you're loyal to them is because you've known them for so long? And now it's a thing of like, there's no alignment, but a lot of what's happening has to do with you feeling badly. Like you've known them for so long. You've known them for so long, and now you have to keep. I say, fuck that shit. That's what I say. And it's not even about not having loyalty. It's about understanding that people need to be worthy of that loyalty. People need to earn that on a consistent basis. Just because they earned it at one point many years ago does not mean they're still worthy of that degree of loyalty. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to be the very trigger that pushes you into this feminine creation, goddess type state. You need to allow this. If you can learn this without getting breached, without parasitic involvement, then you won't get breached. There's no need for that. But if you're going to be fighting this and fighting this and fighting this, like reverting back to old patterns, going back to old spaces, old people, old whatever, I mean, you're probably going to get breached. You're probably going to get breached. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what your personal stance is when it comes to getting breached. Um, for me, that's a hard pass and a hell fucking no. No, thank you. I have work to do. So you're now in possession of these very, very important messages from soul. What you do with this info, it's completely up to you. It's not about me trying to sell you a session, because really, um, there's not really anything I can do to stop this from happening for you. This is about your internal choices. This is about your internal state of mind, your the way you see the world, the way you see yourself in your world, the things that you will allow, the things you will not allow, the ways in which you push away the things that are healthiest for you while you cling to the things that are the least healthy for you. This is too much for my little brain. I don't do well with these types of circumstance. I just don't. The reason I don't do well is because I'm about efficiency. I'm very intuitive, but also very logical. So it's this thing of what's the most feasible option and can it be implemented and be beneficial long term? I'm not for band aids. I'm for the surgical precision that's used to correct an injury or to prevent an injury. I don't play this kind of shit for real. It's exhausting. I don't know how you guys do it. For the people who do it, um, I don't know how you do it. I don't know why you do it. I don't understand. Literally, I don't understand. Because I would never willingly place myself in harm's way at this point. Change is coming. And I think for some of you, this change has to do with you going through some degree of extreme hardship, just extreme hardship, because you allowed access to yourself. I have to pull back from this reading. I just do. Um, and I have to remind myself I cannot control the outcome for other people's journeys. I cannot dictate to people that I love what to decide, how to decide it, how to be more efficient in their life. I cannot do that. I refuse to do that. And some of you might be like, but Emmy, we need to know. You already know. You repeatedly refuse to choose the options that are the healthiest for you. That is a choice that I must respect. So, for those of you who are no longer going to continue these cycles, by spring, you'll be perfectly fine. You'll have entered into this creative energy, this goddess state where you are actively using your authority over yourself to create opportunities, create circumstance, very, very healthy type thing. Just wonderful, wonderful, right? And then for others, you're still in a space of disrespecting your needs, disrespecting yourself, existing in a state of imbalance, um, and depleting yourself. These are active decisions that are being made right now. So, for some of you might be like, well, how would you navigate this, Emmy? I would steer completely clear of people who are in these cycles. I cannot allow myself to be dragged back into that space where I'm matching your energy, where I am matching your energy and choosing the least healthiest options just like you. I'm very susceptible to the company I keep. This is why I really don't keep in touch with many people. There's a very, very small amount of people that I keep in touch with. And it's not to say that I'll only stay in touch with people who are very positive. No, I'm not expecting perfection from the people I love. It is to say that if you are a person I love and you experience hardship, you experience darkness, you experience a low point, and you try your best to process, yeah, you'll be in that space for a little bit or a little bit, a long while. But you're trying your best to process, you're trying your best to digest the events of your life. There's no reason I need to stay away. If you're a person who enters into those spaces and you stay in those spaces, I'll see you when you come out. Because no. Mm-mm. I am an empath of the highest degree of sensitivity. I will not do that to myself again. I will not. I have to love myself enough to choose differently this time. I have to. See, I know myself. I'm the type of person that will join you where you're at. I will keep you company there. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the density. But to do that is to lose myself. I don't have the luxury of that anymore. So I cannot join you there. I know myself. I know my history. If I enter there with you, I will not exit for several years. I cannot give you huge blocks of my life. There are too many people who are counting on me to show up every day. I cannot do that for you. You know, years ago, many, many, many years ago, I was living at a house and my roommate was going through something. Um, I didn't quite know why or what happened. I didn't realize back then how empathic I actually am. Without knowing, I pulled in all their symptoms. Every single last thing. That got me some hefty diagnoses. And it started a cycle that I don't want to repeat. Clinical depression for 7 years straight, that's a fucked up state. I will not do that for anyone. I will have to love you on the other side of your grief, your pain, whatever it is that you're trying to process in that space. I will patiently wait for you on the other side of that. I will not join you there. We will not feed on each other's misery in that hole. I'll wait for you at the top of the hole, reminding you all you have to do is stand up. The hole's not that deep. All you have to do is stand up. I'll help pull you out. Change is coming. And if this change arrives and you're still in a space of choosing the same old things that have continued to hurt you, hurt your heart, hinder your process, delay your healing, that is a choice that will be honored by your soul and everyone around you. No one can save you from what you choose for yourself. You are entering into full sovereignty. And what you choose to do with that sovereign power over yourself, that is up to you. So if you refuse to respect your needs, if you refuse to address the way in which your environment or the people in your environment continue to perpetuate the imbalance that you're suffering through, you will continue to deplete yourself. And as you continue to deplete yourself, just unsavory things, right? I like to consistently um, use analogies that pertain to fitness and gym time. So I'm a certified personal trainer, right? And I structure workouts in a certain way. When you're doing heavy lifting, compound movements, I'm going to put that at the beginning of your workout. Why? Because we want your muscles full of fuel. We want you as strong and as steady as you possibly can be. If you're going to do squats, you're not going to do that at the end of your workout. You're going to hurt yourself. You do that at the beginning because that's a full range of motion. That's probably the first thing I'm going to do. Then what? Leg extensions? No, that's just one hinge. That's just at your knee. No, save that shit for last. I'm going to do leg press. I'm going to do it heavy as fuck. These are compound movements, right? These require the coordination of multiple sets of muscles. I'm going to do it and I'm going to max out that weight because I still have all that fuel. When I start to burn out that fuel, now my body's converting to a different type of fuel. Then I'm going to do the more specialized movements. I'm going to do the hip thrust. I'm going to do single leg deadlift. Can't do as much. I can't do as heavy. My first 3 exercises, I'll max out the weight. I'll have lifted in the first 30 minutes 30, 40,000 pounds because I know I can do it. I know I have the fuel. And as I get further and further into the workout, I'm doing things that require less and less coordination between multiple types of joints. By the time I'm done, when I'm close to finish, I'm gonna burn through the hamstrings. Those are weaker than my quads. Burn through that shit first. It's just one joint. It's my knee. As I do that, and now I'm fully fatigued, then I'm going to do leg extensions. Burn out the quads. Quads are burned out. I'm going to go right back to the calves. That's only your ankle. If you're going to do heavy lifting at the end of your journey, you're going to fuck yourself up. You have to know when you have the fuel to accomplish something responsibly. You can't ego lift your way through life. You can't. You can try. You hurt yourself. You probably hurt the people around you as well. You got to know when you can handle something. You got to know when you can handle something really and when you think you can't handle it because mentally you're not there. Sometimes you need someone to spot you, meaning just be present in case you begin to fatigue, not to lift that weight for you, not to go through that lesson for you, not to hold your hand as you go through that lesson, but to help you in case you fatigue. And you better make sure whoever your spotter is, they're as strong or stronger than you, because really, if they can't lift the weight you're pushing, you're still going to get injured. I saw this video. This guy was bench pressing something like 6 45-pound plates, so 3 on each side. That's a lot to bench press. And he had this tiny female as his spotter. Right when the video started, I was like, this is gonna fucking end bad. Unless she got a sleeper build or something, this is gonna end real bad. He starts to fatigue. She tries to grab the bar. She got fucked up. Not him. She got fucked up. It's about the company you keep. As you're going through these hard things in life, not everyone in your circle has the capacity to support you and spot you in the way you need. The only people I keep around me when things are really, really bad are people who can lift as heavy as me, mentally, emotionally, people who can detach from the limitations of fractured egos. And it's not because, ooh, I think I'm elite. It's because, hey, hurting both of us is not going to do anything. It's just not. It's not going to help anything. Because rather than just one of us injured, now it's both. And if you don't have anyone in your life who can help you with the heavy lifting of your soul journey, that's okay. You know, I work out alone, right? My husband's there. He's doing his own workout. I work out alone. So today, I tried to go heavy, but I also tried not to. I tried to pace myself just to be realistic. So I could lift heavier than this. I lifted 57,500 pounds. I did 56 sets. No spotter. How can I do that safely? You got to learn how to bail on that weight. When I train people, because I'm training a couple people, when I'm at the gym with them and I'm training them, I'm teaching them how not to freak the fuck out just because you're fatiguing and you think you can't do it. Pause. You can't push that weight up. Don't freak out. Bring it all the way down. You're still holding that weight. Let it rest on your chest partially. Breathe. Breathe and pause. Tell yourself, final one. Push it, lock it in. That's it. You're done. That's it. You freak out, you're going to drop that on yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to drop it on yourself. You apply this to the way you approach your spiritual journey. When things get hard, when you begin to fatigue, you freak out. You better learn how to control that freak out. For me, that freak out is stored energy. I feel myself starting to freak out. I can tell I'm fatiguing. Okay, breathe. Pause. Pause. Let that fear load into your muscles. Adrenaline rush. Push it out. Lock it in place. You did it. You're done. Take a moment to catch your breath. You did it. You're done. Learn to tell yourself that. You did it. You're done. That's it. That's all you had to do. You're done. There's no need to fear your journey because change is the only constant. That's the only thing that's guaranteed in life, change. So if you're afraid of change, you need to pause. You need to breathe. Allow that fear to load into your muscles. That is stored energy. All your emotions are energy. It's energy that's calibrated at a specific level of frequency. You store that in your muscle, you can push some heavy ass weight. Heavy, heavy weight. It just depends on how you're willing to use the very fuel that you're allowing to rise to the surface to be burned. What do you want out of your life? What is it? What do you really want out of this period of your life? Do you want to completely resolve a circumstance that's been bothering you for years on end? Do you want resolution for an ongoing problem? Think of it in this way. Is it actually a problem, or is it simply a circumstance that's been allowed and that's why it's persisted? It's not that it can't be solved, it's not that it can't be resolved. It's that it's been allowed to persist despite the way it makes you feel. Because if you don't like something, then you have to do something about it. You have to do something about it. I'm not talking about confrontation. For some of you, you're going to have a confrontation and let a mofo know, like, no, they need to back the F up. Some people are too deep in your life. I'm telling you right now, it is far too common for someone in your life to be so engrossed in your business, they don't even take care of themselves. They're all about you and not in a good way. Not in a good way. You need to start making decisions for yourself. If everything that's happened in your life has been something that's caused you to feel unsatisfied, which many people are, that doesn't mean your life sucks. It's just you're not satisfied. You need to think, why did you make the decisions you made? Were you listening to someone else? Were you listening to someone else? Were you listening to the same person the entire time? You probably were. If I'm going to be honest, you probably were. I see this in social circles far too often. There's usually at least one person who likes to try and shot call everything. I can't fucking stand that shit. Like, worry about yourself. Worry about yourself rather than trying to dictate to your entire social group what the hell they need to do. And people will frame it as though, like, it's because I respect them. No, it's because you're afraid. Be real with yourself. It's because you're afraid that person is a fucking tyrant. They don't allow you to think for yourself. And you're afraid of what will happen if you think for yourself instead of doing what they want you to do. If that's the case, think for yourself for the first time, see what happens. See what happens. And if it's drama, now you know who the hell you need to kick out your life. Now you know. You are in a process of awakening. You are in the process of learning just how powerful you are, and your power is fully embodied in your decision making. That's how you flex your power. You decide things for yourself. You give your power to someone else by allowing them to decide things for you. Right? So start deciding things for yourself. I don't know what the answer for you is. I don't. I'd like to think that I could give you some type of clarity. It depends. It depends. Right, KJ. There is nothing permanent except change. Yup. That's the only thing permanent. Change. That's the only thing guaranteed, the only thing permanent, the only thing you can count on. When I go through extreme hardship, which I've gone through quite a few different rounds and cycles of extreme hardship, the only thing it breaks is a part of me that's unwilling to move forward, right? When I go through that period of hardship, I always just remind myself change is inevitable. Eventually, this will change. I don't need to get all in my feelings about this. Allow myself to feel whatever must be felt. I acknowledge what needs to be acknowledged. But yeah, it's not that serious. Eventually it changes. Eventually it changes. The amount of anxiety and dread that I felt when I realized, like, oh shit, the RV is broken. The fucking brakes are broken. This is years ago, right? This is 2017. It's hilarious now. It was kind of hilarious then too. So I was instructed to go to Colorado by Soul. I was in flat ass Texas. And I was woken up at what time in the morning to the sound of sirens, like air raid style. And I'm like, what the hell is all this? And I was the only one that could hear it. And then I was told I needed to evac Texas. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So we go and we evacuate Texas. And I'm told by Soul that we need to go to Colorado. Colorado is just above Texas. So we cross the Colorado state line, and I'm like, okay. And then I realized, like, what the is this fucking snow? It's like May. What the fuck? Yeah, it was snowing. And then it was this thing of like we couldn't safely drive through. So we had to stay in those southern cities of Colorado, and we stayed in a Walmart parking lot while it snowed, and it was so fucking freezing. We had no no electric, no generator. And I was like, this is fucking cold. Mind you, I was like 90 pounds, issues with my thyroid, always cold, even in summer. I was so cold it hurt. And I was like, okay, it's not going to be long. It's not going to be long. So then it stops snowing and we drive north. We drive all the way north because my girlfriend is all the way north, just south of Wyoming. And we get to the county fairgrounds. I was like super late at night. And we go ahead and we get an RV stall. So now we have electric. Now we have water. We have all of that, right? So it's fine. Kids are resting. I'm resting. It's beautiful. And then the next day we realize the brakes don't work. And I'm like, no, 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 no. It just needs to rest. Delulu. It just needs to rest. It just needs a rest. So we're there for, I think the max you could stay there is like 10 days or something like that. We're there for the 10 days. My husband is pretty aware of mechanic stuff for vehicles. That's his thing. And he's like, no, the brakes are fucked. And I'm like, no, 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 they're not. You're just so macabre. They're not fucked. No, they were fucked. They were fucked. You can't leave Colorado. with a master cylinder broken. You can't leave Colorado. You can't leave in any direction. You go through mountains. So the time is up. They won't allow you to stay longer than what the amount of days they set because the county has a rule. You can only stay X amount of days in a calendar year. So I tell my husband, okay, that's fine. Let's just look for another RV park. We'll look for another RV park nearby and then we'll figure out the breaks. We leave the county fairgrounds only to realize this is when I learned this. From May all the way through till around September, every single year in that mother freaking state, everybody loves to be outdoors. Everyone has an RV, a trailer, a boat. Not even joking. If you guys have never been to Colorado, that's what these mofos do. So there's no RV parks. They're all booked up until around September time. I was like, what are we going to do? We parking lot pimped it. For quite a few months. We stayed in the parking lot. And the realization that we would have to stay in that parking lot, well, that had me fucked up for a couple days. Like, what? That's not how this shit's supposed to go. What do you mean I'm going to be stuck in a parking lot? I have kids. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, one of my friends, I don't know, I think she was trying to make light of things, right? Um, she's like messaging me. She's in a completely different state. I mean, there's really nothing she was gonna do or could do, nothing I expected her to do. But we were messaging back and forth, and I kind of let her know that, like, yeah, no, something's wrong with the brake. So we're kind of stuck in the parking lot for a little bit. I didn't tell her the exact severity. And she like made a joke and put LOL. And I was like, bitch, you think this is a fucking game? It's fucking funny to you? And I immediately stopped being friends with her. That's 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 how bothered I was. I let myself have a few days, probably like 3 or 4 days. I let myself have a few days. And then it was a thing of, listen, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. I'm needing to learn something right now. I don't know what it is. I know in my heart, as soon as I learn what I need to learn, we're not going to be stuck in a parking lot. Either the brakes are just going to magically be fixed, Delulu. Hi, I'm Piscean. Yeah, or we're it's going to get fixed. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. And at that point, from the moment I reminded myself of that, we've gone through everything in life. My husband has taken care of everything for as long as I've known him. He has taken care of us. And this is no different. It's an adventure. From that moment all the way through, that's what it became, an adventure. I didn't have to convince myself. I didn't have to lie to myself. I didn't have to pretend like it wasn't a questionable circumstance. It just is what it was. Being hidden in plain sight, being free to explore myself, being given the very circumstance that would trigger a very deep, very intense exploration of me as the person I am, knowing it's going to change me, knowing this is not going to be forever, knowing change is the only thing that is guaranteed in life. And my husband was very stoic at first. And then when it began to really stress him out, it took a little bit for him to start being like, this is bad. This is not good. And I would remind him, you know, before you know it, this is just going to be a memory. And we're going to be like, that was some fucking crazy shit. That was so crazy. That was so fun, though. Everything in our life, the life we've lived together has been crazy as fuck. Not even joking. The crazy shit that me and this man have been through together as a team. And now we're just coasting along. Coasting along because we're rich. No, we not rich, boo. We not rich. We're coasting along because we know we can fucking handle anything, individually and especially together. We will weather any fucking storm. And not only will we get through that, we will thrive because of it. Trust in your ability to choose what you need. Stop identifying as the circumstance. When you begin to identify as your reaction to a circumstance, you then commit yourself to living that circumstance day after day after day after day. So, for those of you, I'm depressed. Okay. So that tells me that you're not coping well with something that's happened. You're not processing it very well. Okay. That's a fair thing. A lot of people have difficulty processing. Does that mean you have some type of disability? Not unless you want to make it a disability. I mean, you have the power to recognize that this is simply an acute circumstance that you didn't have the life experience to handle easily. So you've struggled, you've faltered a little bit, but you're going to get through it. Or you can choose to take that label that was really meant to help you understand the acute circumstance you're struggling to overcome, and you can make it your whole identity. You have the right to do that. You have the authority to do that. But just know that if you make it your entire identity, and I won't try and convince you that you're not something or that you are something. That's your choice. But just know if you make that your entire identity, you take an acute circumstance that's supposed to last a couple days, couple weeks, couple months, and then you turn it into your entire existence. And there's no amount of medication that's going to fix that. Sometimes medication can help. It can kind of level things out just a little bit so you can begin processing. But if your decision um, is to be perpetually medicated, that is your choice. I will not say it's right or wrong. I will say that's your choice. That is what you've chosen rather than facing the difficulty that created the circumstance internally that you've been struggling to overcome. You're a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for. You're a lot stronger. A lot stronger. So, case in point, I was diagnosed as bipolar in 2020. No, 2000. That's 20. Yeah, 2000. In 2000, I was diagnosed as bipolar. Took medication for about 18 months, something like that. Quite some time, a shit ton of medication. Um, yeah, because I was allegedly bipolar. They said I needed to be on a cocktail. I religiously took it. I identified as bipolar. I identified as broken. Um, yeah, just like many people do when they hear things like that. I trusted the doctors. That's their specialty, right? Except about 18 months after I was diagnosed, I found out I was pregnant. And I didn't want to expose my unborn child to medications. So I halted all medications. And I halted all medications for 6 years. It was a struggle processing my emotions in those 6 years. Yeah. Did I have um, a bipolar episode? No. I cried. I was angry. All these different things. All the full spectrum of human emotions. I felt that in those 6 years. The whole time I was convincing myself that I'm bipolar. And then when life got really hard towards the end of that 6 years, I was like, okay, ah, I was fucking crazy in 2000. I want to be a responsible mom. I don't want my kid to see that. I'm going to go ahead and make an appointment before I lose my shit. I'll make an appointment with my therapist and then they'll refer me to a psychiatrist and then I'll get back on all my medications. I'll be responsible about my mental health. Except this is the kicker. I go and I see this therapist. She was amazing, amazing, extremely compassionate, extremely well aware of psychological conditions. She's like, "You're not bipolar." I was like, "No, but I am." I am. And she's like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "I am. You look in my chart, they diagnosed me as bipolar in 2000. I was on all this medication. I promise you I am. I'm not making this up." Right? Except she explained to me bipolar people don't take preemptive action. They don't request for their medication and they don't go years on end without having a manic episode or a depressive episode and losing control. I didn't have a single episode. And then she asked to reassess me. Turns out I'm not bipolar, nor am I antisocial. I'm socially selective, not antisocial. I'm very careful of who I allow around me. That's not antisocial. How could they have been wrong? You don't cure bipolar disorder, right? Once you're bipolar, you're forever bipolar. Except what is bipolar? There's no test. There's no test that tells you exactly which chemicals are imbalanced in your brain. Do you know that, right? There's no test. I look back now, I don't regret what I went through because what I went through gave me a clear understanding of me and my ability to overcome life circumstance. I did not overcome it right away. It took me many years. Many, many, many years. But what I went through helped me to understand that was nothing but an acute circumstance that I integrated into my identity. That's why it lasted as long as it did. I integrated it into my identity. I believed it wholeheartedly that I was fractured, that I was broken, that I was damaged as a human being, psychologically flawed. No, I simply didn't have the life experience to quantify the difficulty that I was living through. Some people might say that I was just being highly sensitive. I was. Overexcitability, as defined by Dr. Dabrowski's theory on positive personality disintegration, it's indicative of elevated intelligence. My problem was that intellectually I was far advanced, emotionally I was very, very delayed. Why? Because up until a certain point, I never existed in an environment that was safe enough to allow my emotional development to occur. It was never because I was weak. It was never because I was broken. It was because of the environment I allowed myself to exist in. Wrap your mind around that. Are you broken? Or are you simply a poor match for the environment you're existing in? Ask yourself that. You're so quick to blame yourself for something you never had control over. If the environment you're in is a root causation for the ways in which you struggle to process life, struggle to process emotions, struggle to even look at yourself in the mirror every day, I think it's time to reconsider where you belong. It's just time. That change is coming, and it's coming quick. If you cling to the environments that have caused you to be so comfortable with seeing yourself as a problem, when in reality, the problem really is outside of you, then, you're probably going to stay in that same environment. And hopefully, when this opportunity circles back around further, way further down the line, probably several years down the line, excuse me, you'll have gone through enough to choose something different for yourself. Sometimes we need to go through that cycle again. Hey, you already attack yourself enough. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you're being dumb, choose different. No, what you choose is what you choose. Sometimes we need to take the class over so that we get a really rich understanding of the material. It sucks. I wouldn't choose that for you, but I understand if you choose it again. I get it. I get it. You haven't learned to love yourself at the depth where you exist. Some of us are so deep, we have no idea where we're at. You see, the problem with a deep person is that you're surrounded by people who are superficial. They exist on the surface level, they exist based on aesthetic, and that's not a bad thing. It's just not your thing. When you are so deep and surrounded by people who can't go that deep, they will always flounder in your presence. You give them enough time and they will flounder, they will panic, they will blame you. Why? Because they have to come up for air and you don't. I had to learn that the hard way. It wasn't that I couldn't make friends. It's that I kept trying to make friends with people who exist at the surface. Not understanding why they always go away. Babe, they had to go up for air. It was never a situation of abandonment. They were holding their breath, trying to stay by your side. But eventually they had to come up for air. I allow my perception of all these different circumstances I've lived through to shift and to change, because change is healthy. Change allows me to see life from different vantage points, from different perspectives. I no longer live from a space of perception. Perception is your view of the world based on your filter of trauma that you're currently using. If you're wearing extremely dark sunglasses, you're going to see the world as an extremely dark place. If you're wearing those yellow glasses, even at night, everything's going to look real bright. Either way, is what you are perceiving the actuality of the environment you're in? No, it's filtered through your trauma. If you shift into a space of seeing life through perspective, meaning you're observing from a neutral point of observation, and the only thing that's changing is your level of elevation. You climb higher, you can see further. You climb down, you can see closer. Perspective. You will always be seeing the actuality of what's placed before you, not what your trauma is trying to convince you. Exit out of that space of fear. Fear in reverse. You need to exit out of that space of fear, and you need to be able to see yourself, because there's nothing wrong with you. You need to be able to see the person you've become. And if the person you've become is simply a hollow shell of who you once were, well, then you need to, make some changes. Decide different things for yourself so that you can shift and feel replenished, feel refueled, rejuvenated. I think for some of you, the main issue here is that you've trauma bonded with a person. I hate trauma bonds. I have such a disdain for trauma bonds. I've had people try and trauma bond with me, and I'm just like, nah, motherfucker, get away from me. I don't do trauma. Fuck that shit. I have my own trauma. I'm not going to be living my life based on your trauma filter. No, thank you. The problem with trauma bonds is that they always will turn out badly given enough time, because guess what? Trauma bond, usually it's between two people, sometimes more. Trauma bond is very unhealthy. A part of the reason, one of the people in that bond will eventually reach a place where they're ready to heal, they're ready to move forward. And guess what? The one that's not ready and might not ever be ready, they will not give you permission. They will hold you right there with them. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. That's the problem with trauma bonds. Oftentimes, the one that doesn't want to heal, the one that's not ready to heal, they'll use emotional manipulation without realizing it. They'll be like, you've changed. Oh, you're leaving me. Oh, you think you're better than me now. Who do you think you are? Yeah, word to the wise. Don't be starting those type of conversations with me. That's a surefire way to get rammed in the ass by Capricorn horns. I don't participate in that type of shit. I'm just like, no, no, absolutely not. Nope. So you're being told by your soul, if you're not ready to see what needs to be seen, that's okay. But you need to allow for balance to occur. You need to allow for balance to be reestablished. Attraction. You're calling to you the very things that you need. Go ahead, bring it to you. For some people, this is going to be a difficult circumstance. Okay. It's going to show you something about yourself. Maybe it's going to teach you about your degree of resiliency, right? Maybe it's going to teach you about your level of compassion, your ability to love yourself, so many different potentialities. Call it in. Call it in. Be careful, though, that what you call in further depletes you. Abundance in reverse. This is telling me that you can call in anything you choose, but just know if you call in the same old stuff, the same old people, the same old characters, well, it's going to create the same old circumstance for you. And if that circumstance sucks, why do it again? I wouldn't willingly do it again if it sucked the first time. I just, no, no, thank you. The void. You have to allow the part of you that's been pushed out. It might be you, it might be another person. I don't know. I don't know. But you have to allow these parts to be allowed back in. Okay. It's not a toxic person that's needing to be allowed back in. I just want to make that very, very, very clear. It is not a toxic person that needs to be allowed back in. It is not a person who has a history of manipulating you. It is not a person who has a history of just being fucking weird. Like, oh, you're gonna withhold yourself, you're gonna give me silent treatment. I don't know, you guys. I'm Capricorn. I have Capricorn moon, Capricorn Venus. I'm very cut and dry. If we not vibing, we not vibing. Go do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing. Toodles. I, I don't know. That's just how I am. I don't know how people navigate this type of stuff, but if the person who's coming to mind is a very unhealthy person for you, no, no, that is not who I'm talking about. No, 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 no. You know what I'm saying? What note do you need me to say no in? No, 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 no. Hell motherfucking no. Oh, no, no, no. I mean, no, no. Okay. It's someone else. It is not the toxic person that you've already successfully escaped. I promise you, it is not them. The path. You're being guided back onto your path. You're being guided to start choosing things that are super healthy for you. Okay. Ooh. Okay. You really are being guided. Okay. Okay. I get it. Collaborative dreaming, focus on the light and dream a beautiful dream. This is telling me that you are being prepared to enter into a space, maybe a friend group, maybe I don't know, I don't know, but it's something where it's very supportive of your self-healing, it's very supportive of you moving forward in life. It's very, very loving, very supportive, no ulterior motives, no like gonna dangle this over your head later on, just a very healthy thing. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us the daily bread, forgive us our trespasses, we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace. I'm praying for y'all that you don't choose to go back to whatever toxic shit you've already escaped. That's not what this reading is about. It's not. It's not. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee, blessed art thou amongst women. I'm just saying, you know, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. Glory be to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. We just had to finish it out. We just had to finish it out. Okay. You can't start one without the other and the other. You got to do all three together. So it's complete. Next, it's this thing of every journey starts with a single step. You need to stop carrying the baggage that is caused by your allegiance to someone who just is not healthy for you. Some friendships are not meant to last for your entire life. Unfortunately, some friendships, some relationships, some connections, they're not meant to last your entire life. And you kind of just you need to do what needs to be done. I don't know what that is. You need to make some decisions. You need to look at things objectively, see what I'm saying. Mhm. Mhm. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. I'm telling you. Jesus, take the wheel, take the cards. I'm saying. For some of you who are in a really toxic space, for some of you who are in a very like Breathe. I'm so fucking flustered. Is this like a case of you settling for the toxicity because you're afraid that the healthy person will reject you? Is Oh no, I don't know, girlfriend. You cannot solve everyone's sadness. You cannot save people from their own decisions. You cannot dictate to the people you love what decisions they should make. You simply have to honor, respect, and uphold their sovereign right to decide. Just this is this is sad. This is sad. For some of you, you're going to choose to kind of, exit out of whatever this is, right? But you're going to be made to feel that you're very trapped. And because of the way whatever this circumstance is presented to you by someone you've trauma bonded with, you're going to hesitate to fight their dominance over you, to fight them insisting that you need to stay, you need to be around, you cannot abandon them, you cannot this, you cannot that. They love you. How come you don't love? Like all of these different things. I, I don't know how to navigate this because it's well within my character. If someone starts these type of conversations and starts using these types of words, I'm very quick to be like, shut the fuck up. I won't even know that it's come out of my mouth. I'm highly reactive to manipulation. I've learned to just quietly be like, block, just block, carrying forward, right? You continue with this, they're going to deplete every single ounce, every single gram of your potentiality for abundance to come in. Um, I respect whatever you decide. But just know you're being made aware of the ways in which you empower specific types of circumstance, specific types of connections that are extremely unhealthy for you. And as you become aware, you'll start to understand the ways in which you're actually the one sabotaging your own journey. It's not about blame. It really isn't. someone someone who's watching is like, are you trying to say it's my fault? It's not my fault. You see, the problem is not about fault. The problem is you don't take accountability for your actions. You chose something, either passively or outright. You chose something and it turned into something you don't like. So if you take accountability, it has nothing to do with blame and everything to do with taking um, maybe an audit of your decision making skills. So if you choose option A rather than option B, and you don't like where A leads you, when you take accountability, you then begin to realize, I really shouldn't choose options that are like A because I don't like how it turns out. That's why accountability is important. I mean, you're going to forever have problems with life if you can't take stock of your decisions and the way your decisions lead to the very outcomes that you either like or don't like. So I chose the option of doing something about my health. I was in massive, major health decline. I gained like 80 pounds in a matter of I think like a month without having changed my diet, not changing my activity level. Something was seriously fucking wrong. I could smell disease growing in my body. I could feel it. I could feel it. I'm a medical intuitive. If I really want to be fully transparent, I could feel cancer growing in my body. I could feel it. Small clumps. Very, very small. I don't think medical diagnostics would have found it yet. So what did I do? Get mad? For what? Blame someone? Why? See myself as a victim? I chose the only thing that was appropriate. Completely alter my health, rebalance my hormones, take the appropriate supplementation to reduce the likelihood of cancerous growth, support proper immune function, take care of myself. I completely changed my physique. Was it for aesthetics? No. The original decision was so I could live long enough to see grandkids. I happen to like the outcome. So I'm going to keep doing it. That's accountability. That is accountability. When you see that your decisions lead to the things that make you happier, make you feel healthier, make you feel strong in the mind and strong in your body, I mean, why not keep choosing that? Why not keep choosing that? My husband didn't really want to work out, but I just kept working out. I'm like, fine, I'll work out without you. So then he started working out. And then he stayed on the treadmill. And I'm like, what are you doing just on the treadmill all the time? And of course, he didn't want to hear me. Whatever then. He stayed on the treadmill. And then he saw me really developing muscle. And he's like, shit, I want some fucking muscle too. Get it. Get it. Build it. And now he's a beastly ass mofo. He is beastly. Beastly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He chose that. You choose whatever you want. I'm gonna be healthy. Do whatever you want. He chose that. He chose that. And you know, one day he said to me, he likes the way he feels now. And so I don't have to force him to go to the gym. I don't have to be like, well, I'm going without you. As a matter of fact, this morning I realized that my alarms didn't go off. And the reason I realized that is because my husband woke me up at what time in the morning, like, hey, it's already what time in the morning? Oh. He was ready to go to the gym before I was. You want change to go in the way you want it to go, you need to make it go in that way. You need to make it go that way. You know, my brother is my coach. He produces champions all the way through to Olympia level. That's like the highest degree of competition for bodybuilders, for fitness people. He produces champions. He's been at this his entire fucking life. He's completely self taught. To say he knows about the human body, understatement. Understatement, right? My hamstrings wouldn't grow. I had disproportionate growth between my quadriceps, the front of my thigh, and the back. Doing so much, it would not grow. And he said something so powerful to me. You know what he told me? His advice? Make it grow. Hit it every time you work out. Force it to grow. When you continue working on something, you force that growth. You don't rush it. I can't rush the growth of my hamstrings, but I can force it to realize you want to be balanced. You want to be able to handle what I'm forcing you to do. Your ass needs to fucking grow. And guess what? It grew. It grew without me noticing it was growing. It grew. It grew. I wasn't taking pictures and measuring and all of that every day. No, it was just like, I do the exercises I need to do that I know will hit the hamstrings. And every time I'm doing it, I'm like, you fucking bitch. You fucking grow. Fucking grow. I'm not even joking. I'm not even, I wish I was joking. I'm not. That's me at the gym. Fucking grow. And then it grew. You see, growth happens even when you're not paying attention. When you are very focused on what needs to be done and the types of changes that you need to initiate, growth just happens. You want me to check you out, don't you? You got me on your calendar. This guy. So, Blu-ray Awakening. Blu-ray Awakening. It's in reverse, though. I think the problem here is that you're not aware of the process that you're in and the full gravity of what this period is for you, because this is a huge opportunity for everyone. Excuse me, we're all Blu-rays. Every single last human being. Homo sapien is a byproduct for entertainment purposes only. I theorize that Homo sapiens are a byproduct of extraterrestrial hybridization program. It's even talked about in ancient texts. I don't know where my notebook is. I forget the name. Enuma Elish, I believe, is the ancient text. And it was the Ijiji. The Ijiji were like, we're not doing no more of your cock-a-doodle-doo, Anunnaki. And they're like, shit, we need new workers. And they're like, hey, there was this like humanoid. There was this like bipedal monkey. It was an ape, right? There was this hominid that I saw down yonder. Get one of those and we'll go ahead and we'll start. We'll hybridize it. We need to make sure it's smart enough to do the work we need it to do, but not so smart that it rebels. And that's where cannabis comes in. Cannabis is not a terrestrial floral species. It's not. Y'all like, it's not the devil's lettuce, it's the alien's lettuce. That's why we have a cannabinoid receptor in our system. It naturally occurs. We have specific receptors for cannabinoids, depending on the terpenes and the different things in that plant's profile. It has different effects. We're all Blu-ray, every single last one of us. Yeah. And by virtue of your Blu-ray nature, Blu-rays are Melchizedek. It's part of the hybridization that occurred. So there's a small percentage of Anunnaki etherogenetics. And then there's another more dominant percentage of fallen Melchizedek code. You have warrior's blood running through your veins, and you don't even know it. Fight for yourself. Fight through this process. Fight for yourself. Fight for your health. Fight for your happiness. Fight to become whole within yourself once again. You don't have another half. Do people think like, oh, my twin flame is my other half? False. They are your counterpart and complement. They are not your other half. You are whole within yourself. And maybe if you separate from the people who keep you blind to the reality of how powerful you actually are, how much authority you have for yourself, over yourself, um, maybe your intuitive guidance will stop being blocked, because it's the intuition sigil, right? But it's in reverse. It's in reverse. So that means something, someone, some situation is blocking that intuitive guidance from coming through. It might be your fear of taking responsibility for your life. There's a lot of people who are afraid to take responsibility for their life. It doesn't mean you're a bad person or that you're weak. It's just that's where your fear is. So you'd rather wait for someone else to tell you what you should do. The problem with that is they don't know you at the depth you need to know you in order to properly decide things for you. What they know about you is what they've projected onto you. You see, um, for many years, I've been told by many people that it's like I can see all the way through them down to their core. I see the person that they are. I see them in ways no one else can see them. And it's true. It's true. There's something within my skill set that allows me to have um, a penetrative gaze. I can see past people's cloaks, walls, armor. I usually blind myself because, I mean, I don't want to see all your stuff. Yeah, but I can. I can. That's why it doesn't make sense to me why you would allow the things you've allowed. The only thing I can think of, the only reason is that you've forgotten. You've forgotten the actual gravity of you. You've fought change for so long and you've become trapped in your current circumstance. You have thumbs. What does that statement mean? You have thumbs. You know what it means? You can pinch. What do you need to pinch for? To fucking unlock that cage that you've put yourself in. Come on now. Unlock the cage. You have thumbs. Use them. Unlock that cage. Turn that lock. Open that cage door and walk out. It has to be a conscious choice. It has to be a conscious choice. Anything short of you choosing it for yourself is nothing more than you choosing the next prison you'll exist in. I don't want you imprisoned. Not even by my love. I do not want you imprisoned. Choose for yourself. I trust you to choose this when you're ready for it. Not everyone is ready to be as free as you were designed and destined to be. So I trust you to choose when you are ready to choose your actual sovereign freedom. Fire cleanser in reverse. Everything is exactly as it should be. You are in the circumstance, and some of you in the struggle that you need to be in order to develop the level of awareness and the shift in perspective that's necessary for you to see what you're really here to do. You'll see it. I believe in you. All right. Oopsie. Let's read a card from Rumi because I feel like I've scolded you enough. So, one card from Rumi for everyone. And I have a session starting. All right. One more shuffle. All right. This guy is sticking all the way up. Ooh. Card number 29, you are being guided to back to your own divinity. Number 9. So 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. 11 being the number of your awareness that the first steps of your journey are about to take place. Love it. All right. Let us see. The right choice. Stay close to those who know about the heart. Choose the shade of a tree that is in constant bloom. Don't meander aimlessly among the herb sellers and potion vendors. Go directly to the shop that sells nothing but sweets. Don't sit waiting by every boiling pot to have your plate filled. Not every boiling pot is cooking what you want. Not every sugar cane is filled with sugar. Not every down has an up. Not every eye has vision. Not every sea contains pearls. Within you, I recognize my most trusted friend. We go back a long way to before that moment when time began. We knew each other then, even before time was born. So I say hello, my old and dear friend. So lovely for us to meet again. And I feel how your heart responds with a wave of love, for it is that love that is you, my most trusted friend. On the path of love, there's not so much wrong and right in the moral sense, so much as what is going wrong or right for you. The mind cannot help so much here. Only the heart can speak such truths. The mind may reject it, recoil, analyze, and find all the reasons why the simple truth, the right choice of the heart, cannot possibly work and only lead to pain. That is what the mind does rather well, actually. But it does not mean the right choice, the heart choice, becomes incorrect. It means rather that the heart has outsmarted the mind, and the mind will need to bow to the heart, even without understanding its sometimes impenetrable mysteries. Or one can choose to stay in inner conflict, fighting against the right choice, but eventually love will prevail and the way forward must be taken. So, can you give up what you have planned, believed, or decided? Let the heart wisdom that silently and constantly broadcasts its pure and true intention into the fertile womb of the universe lead the way instead. It will lead you along the right path to the right house where sits the right master for you. He grabs you in a bear hug and gently whispers into your ear, "What took you so long? I've been waiting for you since the day you were born. Now we are together. It's time for us to play." It is said that one man's meat is another man's poison. To base your choices on what others have chosen for themselves may end up killing you. Better to take your risk on the angel of your own heart, wise as that being is, and dance to your own heart rhythm instead. There may be fear if others seem to be dancing different steps, but beloved, you know that is just because every heart has its own unique rhythm, and yours doesn't want to waltz so much as to tango. So why not allow it to be? Thus, without fear or doubt, this oracle comes with a message for you. In your heart, you know what holds meaning for you. You may or may not have had a grand vision to go along with that meaning as yet, but deep within, You know what is without value and what holds value, at least for you. You were born with those values intact in your heart. And whatever confusion has arisen for you along the way is just where the values of others have transfused into your own blood. It's time for a transfusion of holy light into that blood to be cleansed and purified, restored to its integrity, and filled with passion for what is rightfully yours, your unique passion and purpose. If you have been concerned about your path and what steps to take next, this oracle comes as an omen of good things headed your way. Clarity, reassurance, truth, and revelation. Don't hold on to a belief system or vision if it appears to be tossed on its head. Let things go the way they will, and good fortune will prevail for you. That vision might actually have been upside down all this time and suddenly able to right itself and be born for you if allowed to topple. Or perhaps there's a more fulfilling version of your vision lurking in its remnants to be scooped up by your soul with its hawk vision and eagle deftness. Trust that if you are being drawn away from tantalizing sweet shop, there's a more delicious array of confection just around the corner for you. So, yes, have your tantrum if you must, but you will be sheepish soon when you realize the hand of the great beloved that removes is the same hand that bestows even greater gifts. Woo! Say out loud with gratitude and trust, I release that which is not rightfully mine. Ooh, hell yeah. Mm-mm-mm. With gratitude and trust, I release that which is not rightfully mine. Time to let go of the things that have weighed you down, the things that have made it impossible for you to fly, and not just fly, but soar extremely high. This person from my history, someone that I still very deeply have love for, he once said to me that I was like an eagle. And I had a confused look on my face because I didn't quite know what he meant. He realized I was confused, and so he explained eagles fly alone because they can soar higher than all the other birds. Mm. Sometimes you have to recognize the only reason you're alone is because you're an eagle as well. Don't be afraid of that solo journey. Eventually, even the eagles come together with other eagles to create new life, create new potential. You will find your people if you haven't already. Change is coming. Change is coming quickly. You cannot stop it. You can try and fight it, but I think that's a waste of your time. So allow. Put the effort into finding the courage to get out of your own way. Change is coming and it's coming quick. Guys, a quick reminder. So, we've put more crystals. There's a ton more crystals. It's a slow process. We've put more crystals on our crystal shop. They're currently, I think, 30% off. We also have 50% off the entire website for private sessions. Um, if you have anything you want to look up, click on this QR code or the link in the comment, and that will take you to all the links you could possibly want or need for anything and everything ME Evolving. The ME Evolving site, 50% off private sessions. We also have 30%, no, 30% off crystals, 20% off apothecary. For those who have been asking, there are still a few items left for the Baneful Protection workshop. You don't have to have taken the workshop. These items are for self protection, creating boundary lines, and all of that. Go check it out here. It's a first come, first serve thing. Whatever's left is what's left. And then I think that's it. I think that's it. For all of you people who were wanting the soul based business mentorship so badly, 50% off. 50% off. Yep. Go check it out. I love you guys. I will see you again very soon. What's NASM? It's the National Association for Sports Medicine. That is the governing body that it's accredited as well, that I went and got my certification from. So I'm a certified personal trainer. I have the actual certification. I'm certified nutrition coach and a corrective exercise specialist. So just, following my heart and what it enjoys. And I enjoy fitness and health. I also use that information to um, apply towards aura spectrobioregenesis. So my system, it covers quite a few different modalities, quite a different set of skills that are being cultivated. Um, this week, for those who are super interested and have messaged, um, I'm going to be making the link available for the in person event. I have secured the venue. So I have the dates, I have the location. The dates and the location will not be announced publicly. Mhm. The dates and location, they're not going to be announced publicly. I will let people know when they purchase. So they'll be given the information. I'm just getting everything kind of situated. So there's two different options. Only 5 people will have the option to stay at the venue. It's a gorgeous home. My God. Gorgeous. And that's going to be a 4-day event. We're going to go on a full spiritual journey and explore all sorts of different things, including an astral journey that I'm going to lead them through in person. And then there's also the option of a 2-day event where I'll be teaching the soul based business workshop as well as the whole being wellness workshop. I'm all about changing lives all the way around. Yeah, in a sustainable way. It's time for you to begin truly living your purpose and allowing abundance in ways you've never experienced. It's time. And I'm going to be covering all of this in person. It will not be broadcast. So only people who go to the physical event will have the information. So I'm gonna post the link sometime this week. People in the sanctuary, my academy, my certification program, they have first dibs. I'm gonna be giving them the link first. Just hey, people are gonna be like, you can't play favorites. Yes, I absolutely can. Yes, I absolutely can. So those people are going to have first dibs, but there's going to be a workable amount for the 2-day event. Okay, I'm not providing lodging for the 2-day event, but there's going to be more than 5 slots open for that. So don't worry, don't worry. All right, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live.